Good morning.
You know, Buddha said that all we are is a yeah. Let's start again. Rewind. All that we are arises from our thoughts. I want you to think about that. We're not going to get into it today because that's another session. But another derivative of that is a gentleman named Earl Nightingale. And Earl said, "We become what we think about." So I've got some food for thought for you, and I really want you to give those words some brain working, okay? Good morning, Saturday morning marketing smarties, and I'm sorry we're starting late. Um, Best laid plans of mice and men. Mice might do better with these hangouts than I do, but we try and we get them started and like it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. And it took Sarah to come along and troubleshoot it before we could actually get it to work. So we'll be introducing everybody in a moment here. But anyway, my name is Roland from R&D Hotline, where you can learn all you need to know to get your business successfully online. And we have quite a few regulars. And let me see, because it's very interesting who's showing up. And of course, I'm still learning about these hangouts and stuff. But yeah, I want to see this for just a second here. Whoa, is that all the messaging coming through?
I don't know.
But it appears, oh my gosh. So we have several people here that have come on board. We've got Albert Chacon is our videography specialist, who will be joining us later on with our YouTube special and talking about video production. And Kristen Drysdale is supposed to be here.
He's here.
The uncrowned queen of hashtags. I really dig that. Then we have several members from our group that we call the it's a community which was started by Karen Chin. Anyway, the community is called hashtag 28 Days of Love. Is that it? I'll have to get that straight before the end.
That's it. Yeah, so that's good. It says how news spreads.
28 Days of Love Challenge, and I can't even get into it, but Karen it's an amazing group, and several people are here. Hong Hong is possibly with us. Sue Ashton is possibly with us. Jim Sharp I'm pretty sure Jim is with us, and John Jerkowicz is very much probably here too. So I really appreciate you guys stopping in. We may actually have David O'Rourke from Ireland here, and also Sheila Strover and Joan Williams. They might be here also. So, and I won't be able to catch up with people as they keep coming in, but those are a few of the people with us. So, in our panel today, we have several different people, and Zara is with us, and she's with us. Thankfully, in the last couple weeks, because she's been saving my butt. Otherwise, I'd still be here trying to figure out how to start this thing. And Zara conducts a get-together every Wednesday called the Midweek Zap, and you can hashtag that if you want and pick it up, and definitely go attend her sessions. She's a specialist with Google Hangouts. Then we have Molly Youngblood Geiger, and she has a community called Marketing Online Leveraging YouTube. And I swear we're going to get to that subject very soon, next week or two probably. And thanks for being with us, Molly and Zara.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also we have Matthew Peters. Matthew Peters is sitting with us because the reason I bring him in is that he asks the most impressive questions. While I'm speaking to him, he'll ask me something, and I'll go, "Oh yeah," and it leads me off into something else. He's a very, very astute young man. He's a CSUF graduate, and an entrepreneur. And then as part of more than 2 decades, and he's been my mentor for a long time, and he is the marketing veteran from Rewardster.com. So that's our panel today, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to give you just a brief idea of what we're going to cover. So I'm going to share a screen with you for a moment, and then we'll get on down to it. All right. So does everybody see this okay?
Yep.
Okay. Blue. Over in the 28 Days of Love group, we just had a major rush of blue. Everybody, oh my goodness, Barbara has joined us. Great, I'm glad you're here. So, oh, let's see, and I guess I should actually put up my lower third so people can tell who I am whenever I happen to be gabbing. So hang on one second as we iron out the details of all this. Of course, my lower third is nowhere to be found.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, well, luckily I'm among friends, and we'll survive this. Okay, well, if I'll fix that later if I needed to. Anyway, this is the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, and to basically give it the quick rundown, who are we? We are people who want to know what works. We're small business owners and people who have been all over the web, and we've checked it out, and we're so confused by all the stuff that people are feeding us, and we don't know what to believe and what is real and what is not. What is what is old news and what is new news, what is good advice and what is bad advice. So when we get together here on Saturday mornings, we try to hand you a few clues to really sort it out and get you on the right track. And we've covered several subjects in the past that should be helping you with that. If you attend enough Saturdays, after a while you'll just have it all down. We're going to give it all to you as best we can. Of course, we don't cover everything, but what we focus on is if you're a small business, there are a few things that you really should consider to get it started right. And we probably don't have much of a budget, and we most certainly can't waste time, so that's who we are. So what we are about today is reviews and testimonials. When it comes right down to it, they are the heart and soul of what's going to support your web cause and give you the most relevance and the most believability for your web presence and your brand and your so-called pitch to the people. I hate that word. A pitch is a horrible thing. Usually it's because you're trying to convince somebody else of something while they're not receptive and they don't believe you, but you're going to pitch it anyway. And so I really am kind of down on pitching, and I really believe in communicating, building a relationship, getting people to understand who you are, and really start to know, like, and trust who you are. And there you go. Quit your pitching. That's a great line. And after a while, it's like, well, I don't care what this guy sells. I've got to buy it. And when people get to that point, they've reached a point where your subject matter means a lot to them because they understand where it's coming from and people trust your source. So the conversations that start around your products and services should be generated very, very healthily if you have the right reviews and testimonials. That's the value there. What is it that they do? They give you third-party opinions. So you might be looking for an opinion, but the first party that comes along, or the second party that is the company, and the company is not going to hand you a legitimate testimonial, even if they believe the stuff that they're going to tell you. It all translates into propaganda. So the second party from the company is not quite believable. You've got to go to a third party. That's your friend, that's someone else, and possibly review. And so if they are legitimate, they can carry a lot of weight, and they can influence the consumer to buy. So when this happens, what is the result? It's going to encourage more traffic to your website. It's going to build branding, increase odds of conversion. That's the whole idea for building up testimonials. Hang on now. All I'm trying to do is get my stream going here. So I'm gonna get out of this and bring myself back to you here and let you see how I'm floundering around with this. Let's see, comment tracker. Okay, Zara, how do I get my stream there again so I can see the comments?
Okay, and comment tracker.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I figured it out.
Okay.
Phil asked, we can see comments. Can you see our comments? Yes. I finally can. I've been sitting here speaking and trying to keep it coordinated, but the problem is I'm learning all these tools for Google Hangouts, and that's part of what we are all about, is learning how to do this, because I know that all my constituents are going to want to do this too. So inevitably, if you're not doing much of anything to promote your business online, this is really, really a good place to start, watching us flounder around and figure this out so that you can learn from us. So anyway, what the subject is today is building your reviews and testimonials. Testimonials are pretty easy, because if somebody buys your product and they say, "Oh yeah, this is great stuff," and then you might ask them, "Well, would you write down what it is you think? Would you give me a little bit of feedback or some information? And would you make it an official testimonial? Can I use it in my website? Can I write about it in my data?" And they're probably going to say yes. And then you've got something legitimate that is an asset for your business and your product that's of utmost value on the market today. They talk about social media, and social media is the big thing today. Well, in social media, we consider that the new word of mouth. And when people are speaking in social media, they're more believable. Your friends and people you know, and even people you don't know, if they're saying it in social media, it's worth more than the company propaganda. What do I mean by company propaganda? I mean ads, commercials, traditional banner ads, and everything that has the flash and flare coming from the company that encourages people to, see the commercial, see the ad, click, and then we expect them to go buy, right? Well, nowadays, most ads of that nature, especially in social media, are rejected outright. The vast majority are rejected. So why are people doing it? So if people aren't going to buy your ads, go to your website and click and buy, what is it you're supposed to do? Well, you have to educate them and give them a reason to talk about your product or service, and then eventually be reassured by reviews and testimonials that it's the right thing to do. So that's why we're talking about testimonials today, and we're just really going to make this very much a round-robin discussion today. And I'm going to make some initial statements here in just a moment, and then that way it'll kind of like get everybody riled and mad at me and all kinds of stuff. By the way, I forgot to introduce Barbara because she came on a little late here. Barbara Quick is the owner of a couple of websites called dogsandtheirowners.com, which I am particularly fond of because I got to help her build it, and we came up with a tagline of of course, the website title, "Dogs and Their Owners," and then the tagline, "And Other Important People." Is that what we? Is that?
Yeah, that was it.
And other. So dogs are important, and as far as my experience goes, most dogs think they're people. So,
Yep.
matter of fact, my cats do too. So, we've got a strange entourage. Anyway, I'm going to make a initial statement regarding reviews and testimonials, and these are things that I've found could really be damaging to your online outreach, and it concerns original content and building an entourage of articles and things that are your assets online that expand out and become more of the content that you can use for your daily and weekly and monthly input into your website and your web presence. The first thing is, don't write your own reviews or have an employee do it or some associate and someone that's obviously biased write a review. Because if people find out that it's an employee or the guy that owns the website or in the business, and you're writing a fake, it's considered a fake review, and you really, really don't want to go there. The other thing is you don't want to make false claims. No matter how impressive it might seem, don't say something that you cannot prove. And then the last thing surrounding this, because the whole idea is to get this into a discussion online, get people talking about it. And one of the things that people like to do is like, oh wow, there's a website here that I can buy 1,000 likes for $5 or $10 or whatever. We'll have a whole discussion on this, but whatever you do, don't buy likes, don't buy followers, don't buy views, don't do anything like that. Just to extrapolate that out, we've experimented and actually tested it ourselves with YouTube videos, and YouTube being a prime example. When you buy views for YouTube, you can get booted off of YouTube. The video will be removed from the index. So that's the ultimate failure. You go to all the work to produce a video, and then it's invisible on YouTube of all things, which of course everybody knows that I'm a strong proponent of YouTube, and the last thing you want to do is get your video banned. So whatever you do, don't buy views. Get them naturally or don't get them at all. Okay, so at this point, hopefully I've stirred people up a bit about what we can do to develop testimonials and reviews. And in a little bit, I'll be asking a question where we define the difference between reviews and testimonials and the value of each. But right now, concerning testimonials, maybe we can go down the line and just talk to everybody about what they feel about testimonials and how to get them and just how important they are. Zara, would you like to kick us off, or did I catch you at a busy moment?
No, sure, I'm ready. Testimonials, they are incredibly valuable, and I had the unfortunate experience. It was good in the long run, but short haul not so great. As I did my business page, switch it to local, where Google actually mails you a card with a number to a physical address to verify your address, and then you get that. And so it became local, but at the same time my old page disappeared. So I lost everything, including any testimonials that were on there. So first word of advice is if you have testimonials, keep them in a file somewhere, because I hadn't done that. So learn from my mistake. And especially on Google+, getting testimonials is part of the whole picture. It's part of the whole search engine looking at you. Every place that you are, your website, Google+, any social media, You want to have a consistent message so that when people come back to you from whatever source, they know who you are. And the testimonials for me have come from people finding me one place or another and then working with me, and then you know, and they'll say, wow, this was really helpful, blah blah blah, and I'd say, great, could you go to the page and write something? And so I think the very first point is ask. Ask. I know it's sometimes people feel uncomfortable asking, especially people who are just starting out. But golly, if you have someone who really likes your service or is totally enthralled with your product, the very best thing you can do is to ask for that testimonial. Hey, I'm really glad you liked it. Could you just go here and write a testimonial, or if you want them on your website, ask them to send it to you. So the very first step, ask.
I like that, Sarah, and the idea also is when you have a conversation going, and that's the whole thing in social media, and a very good example, like the people in the 28 Days of Love group, we are involved in a major league conversation, and we are getting to know each other. But at that point, when you know people that well, when you really start to like everybody and the trust factor builds, those are the people that you want to ask for a testimonial, or you go to them and say, hey, why don't you try this and tell me what you think, because I really trust your opinion. Well, you've got the avenues of communication open so that you can talk to them, you can ask. It's not out of the blue, because you have a really better feeling. You have a relationship with the person, and when they speak, it's going to be of more value. And plus, they're going to think, oh, this isn't just a product or a service. This is so and so, and I know so and I've spent time talking, and they have a relationship, and the whole emotion of whatever it is that you've got built up kicks in and adds to that testimonial. So, by all means, ask. Thank you, Zara. I appreciate that feedback. And moving down the line, we're going to say, Molly, what would you say is the suggestion or the whatever feedback you have involving how to build testimonials?
Sure. Well, my experience with testimonials has been pretty positive. A few years back, I had a client come to me who had some negative reviews on his Google Plus page. So I'd advise them on some techniques, because, I mean, it's great to get positive reviews, but sometimes we may have a client who's not so happy. So I think to touch upon the subject of negative reviews is important. So the way that I was able to handle the negative reviews is I actually reached out to the person who made the negative review and asked, well, what happened? What broke? Why did you leave a negative review? And so they were able to explain the situation. And when I was able to ascertain why they had had the negative experience, had reached out back to the business owner and explained, well, this is what happened. So in order to counteract the negative review, we were able to provide them additional information and assistance with what they originally had requested from the client, and reached out to them and asked them to just either to remove the negative review or to go and remove it and make a brand new one. So I know for myself personally, I've had a lot of my clients make positive reviews just based on my services that I provide to them. One that really stands out, though, was one that was unsolicited a few years back when the United States started the Healthcare Act, and they were having issues with the website. One of my clients actually went on Facebook and said, if my website designer, Molly Youngblood Geiger Design, had anything to do with the healthcare website, it would work. And to me, that review is priceless, because it was unsolicited, it was genuine, and it was right there on Facebook for everybody to see. So adding to what Zara had mentioned about asking for the review, one other thing I would add to that would be unique ways of asking for it. Meaning, it's okay to ask them, like in an email or in person, but you might also consider asking for a review on, say, an invoice or a receipt or within your email signature, or just give the person different opportunities to make a review to asking them. So that would be my advice.
Yes, absolutely. You know, when you're interacting with people about your product or service, and they actually say, "Oh yeah, we did this, we did that, we love your stuff," and they're ranting and raving. I mean, that's a really good time to just to throw out a little question like, "Oh my God, can I tell the world about that?" And "Oh, can I share what you said? You mind if I publish this? I mean, this would be really valuable to me." And while in the heat of the brilliant emotion that you've induced, that's a really good time to capture and say, "God, I'm so thankful with what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying. Would you mind if I share this with people?" And that's a good time to take the next step the next step into a testimonial. We lost Molly, but it looks like she's back here.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem. And by the way, we have a couple people who would not necessarily consider themselves authorities in the subject of testimonials, but they're both into marketing, and they both are very much so working at online presences and developing their theories. Do you, Barbara or Matthew, do you have any questions for anybody at this point? Either of you.
Not yet. I'm taking it all in.
Okay. And Matthew, how are you doing? Whoops, your microphone's off. Okay, I tell you what, we'll come back to you in a little bit, and not to worry. But let's go ahead and go on, carry on with Duran, and I am very certain that he's going to have some interesting things to say, because I've been in and around the project that he's been working on for a while, and I'm sure that he'll be able to add some insights to this.
Hey, everybody. So, okay, you've been talking about rewards and, reviews and testimonials. So, one of the things that we've been trying to do for the last few years is to make it simpler to do just about everything, but including reviews and testimonials. So today when you meet someone face-to-face, well, at least in the old days, you hand them a business card and you say, "Hey, this is who I am, this is what I do," and then they're going to go do some homework on you, of course, which is done everywhere, every time someone wants to do business with you. So we try to make it a little easier. What if you could just carry around all of your best customers and reviews right behind you wherever you went? What if you walked into a room and all of your best customers are standing behind you saying, "That person, he knows what he's talking about," or "She really is good at this or that." So we made it so that you could carry around all of your customers' reviews on your business card. I'm going to give you a quick screen share here, if you don't mind, Roland.
Go right ahead.
Will that work on the... yeah, okay. All right. All right, on Rewardster here, any business can create their own profile. And with a profile, this is one of our users, Dr. Gary Martin in Irvine, California. And here, all of his customers come leave him reviews. Now, that's nothing unusual. There are plenty of sites where you can already do this. What we did differently, however, is we've created a code that you can then attach to your business card. In doing so, once that code is scanned, a QR code it's called, your customers will see this screen. I'm going to minimize this big one so it's easier to see, where it shows all of your customer reviews on their mobile phone, so that when you hand your business card to somebody, all of your reviews are present and your customers can potentially give you a new review while they're there. With that, we then post these reviews for you on the search engines. Now, you'll see the domain here, critiques.com. We recently changed our domain name, so that's going to show an old name, but we haven't updated all the data on the search engines just yet. So this will give you the ability to be able to post what Google calls rich snippets, or gold star reviews, as the average person will call it, on the search engines directly from your business card. Hand your business card to a customer, ask him for a review. He or she, if he or she has what's called a QR scanner on his phone or her phone, they can scan the code. Up comes your mobile business website, if you will, with ability to post to any of the social networks, to see your products and services, employees, content information, and of course the most important aspect of it, all of your reviews, and then potentially even write you on him or herself. And with that, those reviews are automatically posted to search engines on your behalf. So yes, Roland, to go back to your original post, your original question, which is, are reviews important? I'd say absolutely. And asking people for them to go back and do something for you is a great leap of faith. Giving them a way to do it for you instantly, making it less difficult, remove the roadblocks, if you will, the obstacles to getting the content that you need from them. Well, that's a much more important aspect of this whole thing. People have great intentions. They definitely want to be there for you and provide the information for you, but the easier you make it for them to do what it is that you would like of them, the more likely you're going to get that action from your customers.
By golly, that makes so much sense, Duran, because it's one thing for people to rant and rave, and it's another for you to give them the facility to do it easily. And we must enable our people to speak about us. We must be involved in the conversation and relish in it and reinforce it without pushing our brand and pitching and doing all the things that kind of like basically piss people off. And I'm really a strong proponent of that. One of the factors that I can think of myself is that the people over in networking groups and the likes of that will get together with people. Hi, hey, how the heck are you? And they push the card in your hand and give you the 30-second speech about what you do and so forth. And then they walk away expecting that smile is going to be something that you're going to remember and share with other people and so forth. And basically, all you've done is aggravate somebody and turn them off to your countenance so that they can't wait to put your card in the back stack and probably never look at it again. But if you walk up to someone and you meet them and ask them how you're doing and ask them about their business and find out more about them, and then people like to talk about themselves, right? So they'll start to engage in the conversation. From there, you're developing the relationship without having to try to sell your product. And what I've found that people are more likely to say, by the way, what is it that you do again? And then when you've told them, they're more receptive to the concept, your service, and your product than before you push the card in their hand. So it's very important to build a relationship. And whatever your value is as a service or product supplier, the value is going to be overwhelmingly reinforced by what people think of you. And it's going to make the whole difference. So I really believe in a couple things. Number one, we got to work on ourselves and our approach and the way we want to build relationships and interact with people and engage online. And then number two, we've got to really work on our product and service. And if it's not the best and if it's not the highest we can deliver for the price, then we already start out with a problem, because how can you expect testimonials and good reviews if you really don't deserve them? So the one thing about reviews and testimonials is we really have to be deserving of them in the first place. And then when we have quality, that's going to generate happy customers, and that's going to generate raves, and that's when you start getting reviews. And when you get the conversation revolving around your product or service and people are saying, yeah, this is good stuff. You got to say, and they start actually going out of their way to share you. Then you've got some brand ambassadors. Brand ambassadors are the most valuable thing a brand can have. So that's my rant and rave for now. And but what I would like to do is throw this out to everybody. Looks like we lost Matthew. I'm sorry about that. By the way, I wanted to say that if anyone watching has any comment that they think is significant that we're possibly missing or that is important to the conversation, or if you've got a question that you would like to ask, feel free to type that into the box underneath the video that you're watching, and we should, if everything worked out, be able to see that coming in, and one of us will take a look at that and bring it up to mind and maybe even use it in our conversation here. But one of the things that I am concerned with reviews and testimonials is a lot of people think that they can falsify these things and write them themselves or do something, and you really don't want to go there. But the difference between testimonials and reviews are that testimonials are so often like more of a common user like yourself outside of a branded product, and a review is more of like an authority coming along and saying, yes, I've been around and been there, done that, and I know what I'm talking about, and I've read all the other reviews, and I've tested all the stuff, and I feel that this product, blah, 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 and then they talk about it, and then we'll give you the particulars and opinionate on the whole thing. And I've found that those could be really, really strong, and yet by the same token, sometimes it's like, that wasn't a review. That had to come from the company itself, and that must have been, by golly, it was faked. And so maybe we can start a brief discussion about the differences between reviews and testimonials, and how we should treat them. Duran, is that worth talking about?
Apologize, I had turned off the microphone. Absolutely. If you don't mind, before we switch subjects, I would love to talk about the original topic that you were talking about there, Roland, which was about some of the reasons not to try to purchase reviews or testimonials for that matter. I'm going to switch screens on you again. Some third-party sites, something I've told our clients for a long time, are now making it so that if you get caught trying to purchase third-party reviews, they actually will start displaying to potential new customers of yours that you are attempting to have been caught trying to attempt to purchase reviews or have purchased reviews in the past. So right there, this is an attack on your credibility. And once your credibility is compromised, it's compromised. I liken integrity to a crystal vase. Once it's been broken, you can't put it back together. So this is one of the reasons why we always recommend never to try to purchase third-party reviews, because it's not a matter of if someone is going to catch you and start advertising that your integrity is compromised. It's only a matter of when.
Wow, that's so incredible that you brought that up. And we're always looking at it from the standpoint of what we see on the outside, what we want to build with our internet marketing campaigns, and what we do. So we want to keep the integrity up. But we don't think about like what the forces around us are actually previewing and determining about us, and the reputation and that building up is, it's irreplaceable. It is absolutely irreplaceable. And the only way to keep your reputation up is to start from the ground level, build up from there, and have everything legitimate and righteous, and take it or leave it. And as Molly was saying, deal with even the negatives, you know, when you have a negative review or something downside, if the internet sees that you're approaching that person and talking about it, and maybe even turning that client around, that's worth a hell of a lot, because if people have a problem, they know that you're going to address it, face it, and, you know, square it with them and actually be somebody responsible to support your service or product. And that's a major, major part of product integrity, brand integrity, and building process. So I'm really glad you brought that up. And the main thing that I see the difference between reviews and testimonials are that reviews are generally considered a response to a subject by an authority or someone who is well known for what they have to say. So that's one thing. But the reason I like testimonials is, like, it's your own family, friends, and relatives, and people who you relate to on an everyday basis, who have gone out and tried something and then have an opinion about product or service. And right now, that's really, really valuable assets for any business. Would anyone like to jump on that? Matthew, I hear you. I see you trying to speak, but I'm not hearing you. Is there a problem? Okay, sorry. Sorry, Matthew's having technical difficulties, but we'll settle for your iconic face on the screen as one of the people that we have in the lineup, and that'll be okay. So let's see if anyone has any questions, comments. Nothing right now, but that's fine.
I can talk to that if you want, Roland. I can talk to that point.
Okay.
Reviews versus testimonials. So
Okay.
our experience has been that as far as how the internet and internet sites and internet users see these topics, they're all labeled under what we call reputation management these days. And your reputation is self-explanatory. It has to do with what your friends, family, and customers, prospects think about your business. So one of the biggest problems that arose, this whole reputation management concept came to light many years back when sites like Yelp decided to give users the ability to speak out and express their opinions about businesses, services, products, the like. And this may have occurred because simply there was a communication gap between the customers and the merchants that they patroned. When these third-party sites that allow you to come and post reviews, it sort of circumvents the businesses. That goes around them, if you will, and they find out about these problems that they're having after the situation has taken place, and they can't help or fix the problem initially without these reviews getting posted. So what we've always espoused is that the best solution is to create a way for you as a business to allow your customers to interact with you, give them a way to express their opinions, their concerns, their desires, so that they can potentially skip the third-party reviews without first talking to you. What if you were able to intercept a potentially bad review and talk to the customer, find out what they experienced, see if you can solve that problem for them, and bring them back to the store and give them a second chance give you a second chance at trying to earn their business before they go post a review which could seriously affect your business that will stay there with you forever. So we created a system which allows you to mitigate. We call it mitigation, reputation mitigation. You can actually tell our system to select a star star variable that you'd like to stay within. For example, 4 stars or above. If you get a 30-star review from a customer, we first notify you that you received a 3-star review. and we give the customer a request. Would you mind if before we posted your review, we gave the merchant 7 days to contact you and see if they can help solve this problem. If they say no, we post the review instantly, so it's available for everyone to see and right away. But we can offer some incentives by the merchant to, hey, if you don't mind us holding this for 7 days while we contact you, see if we can solve the problem, we'll provide you with a 20% discount on your next visit or something to that effect. So all of these methods are above board, so to speak. There's no subterfuge going on. We give the customers the ability to post right away. But ultimately, whether it's our system or any other, if you are a business owner, you want to find ways to mitigate and contact your customers, give them a way to contact you and provide you with their feedback. Once you've done that, you've opened the door to a much better long-term customer engagement and development of a relationship with those customers.
Great stuff. I would even add to that from the standpoint that you want to open the door first. I mean, we're talking about building relationships with our potential clients and our ongoing clients and keeping an open door of communication and building that relationship, whereas they don't have to be the people that can come to you whenever they have a service problem. They should be able to come to you any time. And so much of the time, people think that service and support of the product is when you have a question about the product, go ahead and come to me. And what you actually want is for people to feel like they can come to you no matter what, if it's about the service or product, or if their cat is sick, they can still come and ask you your opinion, and that's what you want them to do, be able to feel comfortable coming to you just like you were a friend. And so much of the time...
That's not good. Am I the only one who can't hear him anymore?
Yeah.
So Zara, you want to take over?
Well, I thought we could do the Matthew's question.
Yes, I agree. Good question, Matthew.
Yeah, and I posted it in the comment stream so I could bring it up, but it's not showing up yet, of course. Natural. Okay. So let me read it from the chat.
Oh, we're back.
Matthew says, I was curious as to what you guys think about tailoring your reviews. For example, asking your customers to leave a testimonial on a certain criteria of your service or product. That's one question. Or is it wise to just let them leave a review and about whatever they want? And one way I was thinking about going about this was to create a survey and let the customer know that whatever you write, we, the company, will be able to repost that and use as a testimonial. That's kind of a three-part question, so let's go back to the first one first and see what everybody thinks. And that's just basically about tailoring reviews, asking your customers to leave a testimonial on a certain service or product. What do you think about that? I mean, do you give them carte blanche, or do you really want to guide them along?
Sorry, Zara, who are you talking to?
Anybody on the panel? That's Matthew's question.
I'll jump on that one. I'll take it. So ultimately, what Matthew is talking about would be considered a survey. You're asking your customers what they think about any one particular product or service or their experience. And absolutely, if you can get a customer to provide a survey for you that you can then turn around and use as a testimonial or a review, I definitely recommend it. Another option there is to create a system or use a system that allows you to hashtag, if you will, keywords from your reviews, so that when potential new customers, go searching for something related to your business that was previously reviewed by a customer, an existing customer, he or she can pull those reviews, specifically the categories and content that was related to the question. So ultimately, I think surveys are a great idea. It'll help you as a business owner provide your customers with what they want. As far as reviews are concerned, you can generate the same effect by being able to create. Most of the third-party sites these days do already create links to content from your reviews, but you can specifically set it up in some third-party sites to actually select keywords from your reviews so that they can become searchable.
I had a little glitch and I dropped off the face of the earth there. My server apparently failed, so I'm sorry. I was in the middle of something and then all of a sudden it's like I wasn't in my own Hangout. But I am back, and thank you.
Well, I told you about that right at the beginning before we started. Yeah. It really happens.
It just kind of blows my mind, the best laid plans of mice and men, and you try to get these things going, but inevitably something comes up. So anyway, the main point that I wanted to make earlier was that helping others and building those relationships even trumps your service and product, because if you get the reputation going, people are going to respond to other people when they say, "Hey, do you know that guy so and so?" And what they're going to say is, "Oh yeah, that guy's a great dude," blah blah blah, and they'll rant and rave about who you are. And if you've got that reputation going, then when they say, "Oh yeah, you need this product or service," "Oh yeah, you've got to call this guy," you're still going to pop up to their mind, but you'll pop into their mind because of the relationship you have with the people. And so it's very, very important to build a relationship to help others. And so that might be the key thing. And that's going to result in testimonials. That's going to result in raving fans and so forth. So that's really what you want to generate.
Totally,
So,
totally agree. And I know David Amerlin was talking the other day about trust, and that is how you build your trust. And once it's broken, I think it was Duran said earlier, it was like a crack in a crystal vase. Once it's broken, it's broken. There's no fixing it. So your relationships and being honest in your relationships is so important. It's so important. Just
yep.
be who you are.
I would take it a little step further. I'd say it's the most important thing of anything related to your business is your integrity. Once your integrity is gone, all the rest is just advertisements, and advertisements will only produce effects for short term, and eventually it's a losing proposition.
Yeah, buy me, buy me.
No, we mentioned a little while ago about buying likes and buying traffic, so to speak, and we'll get into this more heavily in the future regarding Facebook. But if you buy likes and buy traffic in Facebook, you can actually lower the percentage of outreach you have. Right now, you start off with 3 to 6% of your people. Now, people don't understand it or realize it, but when you post something in your Facebook stream, only 3 to 6% of the people who are already liking you and on your so-called list get to see it. 3 to 6%. Okay.
Unless you're doing a paid post.
Yeah, but if you do a paid post, I mean, are you talking about boosts?
Boost, yeah. Paid post, yeah.
The problem with boosts is that they are paid posts, and then Facebook turns around and says, "Oh, you're paying to support your posts, which means that you're less valid and you're less relevant." So they lessen your percentage, and so they're cutting down the number of people you can post to. So it all ends up in the wash. You're actually paying Facebook to lower your reputation and lessen the number of people in your outreach. Now,
so one of the reasons that you got 3 to 6% is because Facebook has so much content now that they can afford to just post 3 to 6% of the unpaid content, and now they're focusing on providing the most traffic to the paid posts. So the buying of likes and such, that's related to the issue of the people, the quality of the people who are subscribing to see your content. there are third-party sites all over I should say third-party companies all over the world who, and they like sweatshops. They bring people in to like everything so that they can earn money for those paid likes, and in doing so, they not only like the things that they get paid to like, but things that they don't get paid to like, and that, in effect, lowers the quality of all of the people who are in your like stream if you're paying for those things.
That is correct, and thank you for elaborating better with those people on that subject. I really want to make it very clear, mainly that you don't want to pay to promote your page, or pay to get likes, or pay to get shares, or pay to get views. Just don't do it. It's bad, and these days, it's just a bad idea. And work on your reputation, work on your integrity, work on your products, and just one by one convert people into fans of your stuff. And make sure that you're a fan of you first. That really helps. So, does anyone else have something vital that we think we've missed that should be brought up before we close our discussion for the day?
I would just add to what you just mentioned about building your authority. Just get out there, tell people who you are, what you do, try and help out when you can. Post regularly to social media. Ask for reviews and testimonials.
That about sums it up. Thank you, Molly. And anyone else have something? I think that we're just about done for the day, and I really appreciate you all being here. Seems like the usual suspects, but it's always a good conversation, and so thank you all very much for being here, and thank all of the people who are viewing for attending and watching and sticking with us and having some fun also. And you've been watching the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yay.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for having us, Roland.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Roland. Bye.
Yeah.